Rolling.
All right. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the Beefy Bois Bud Club. I'm Christian. I'm joined here by good companion Joe.
I still don't have a catchphrase, so I'm just hello.
And my catchphrase is oh derp. So we're losing Vito today. Vito's unfortunately out due to sickness. We're going to miss him. But we do have the dogs to replace him here. And the microphone is set up, but they don't know it's unplugged. So anyway, we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk sports. I've got a lot of sports to talk because there's a lot that I found out over the last few days. Last night I went and hung out with some friends of mine, some good buddies, and they all go to, or most of them went to Eastern Washington, and then some of them are local, and we're all good core group of friends. And one of them mentioned to me something I had no fucking idea about, but something that like really got my hype up. And that was the all-pro curling team. And I think that this is something that everybody.
Yeah, you showed me this video when I first got here.
Yeah, I was studying up on it, learning a little bit more about it. But yeah, big shout out to Michael Steckler for letting me know and telling me about this, because I'm really interested in this. And I feel like curling is something that almost every guy kind of has the idea of trying. Everybody kind of wants to go and curl.
Well, it's because it looks like a pub game,
Yeah,
it's like giant
like
shuffleboard. Yeah, and they're wearing pajama pants. Basically, that's the uniform.
You've been in the Dutches with me before when we played some shuffleboard games. You've seen how competitive that shit can get.
So the captain of the gold medal team looks like he just got done like smoking a cigarette and balling. He's got like a pedo mustache,
and
and a pot belly.
He looks straight out of the 70s.
I know.
But those guys killed it, man. That was awesome. So the all-pro curling team is Jared Allen, obviously, big name in the NFL, 136 sacks, 11th overall in the sacks. Then you got Keith Bullock, an all-pro linebacker from the Titans. Michael Roos, an all-pro left tackle for the Titans. And the cool thing about Michael Roos is he was a local guy from Washington. He grew up in Vancouver, Washington, and he played his football at Eastern Washington. And it actually gave way to their name, Roos Field, which is pretty awesome. And as you know, their Roos Field is the red turf, which is pretty badass, especially in the wintertime when everything is frozen around it and the field is just red. But yeah, he was drafted in 2005 and played his entire NFL career for the Titans. So another Titans player, and he was with them his whole career, which is awesome. Then you got Mark Bolger, two-time Pro Bowler QB for the Rams. And so together they're striving to compete in the Winter Olympics. And that's something that's pretty awesome. Retired NFL players are actually able to get into a new sport that they hadn't ever played before, but something that they've been interested in, and now they're taking it to the competitive level. I think they're going to be qualifying here in the next couple of weeks, or maybe next week, something like that. It's fairly soon, but they've been practicing for a while. You can check out their YouTube page. They have all of their practices on there. It's about 2 or 3 hour videos on there. But yeah, they're trying to go and compete in the Winter Olympics and become gold medal Olympians, which is awesome for NFL players. I like the idea. I think NFL players could be Olympians, so they said
it's quite the goal.
It's quite the goal. And they said that getting the gold is the same as a 2-14 team winning the Super Bowl the following season.
Yeah, that seems about right.
So at least they know that they have, that they have their difficulties, and they do scrimmage against the men's, the gold medal winning team, and it doesn't go in their favor very well, but it's cool that they're actually able to practice with them and play with them and learn from the gold medal winners who look like they were on dad weekend, and which is awesome. I love curling. Curling is one of my favorite sports in the Winter Olympics, and I think the Winter Olympics to me is better than the Summer Olympics in my opinion. I just enjoy it a little bit.
I just feel like the Summer Olympics has much more varied sports.
There's a lot more varied sports.
Oh, look, ice skating and skiing again. How many different types of skiing do there need to be?
Dude, that skiing shit gets intense when they do that like big long jump or the
ski jump.
The ski jump.
But it's also boring to watch. Oh, look, another guy jumping exactly the same distance. Oh, he made it 6 inches further.
They wipe out and shit. It's
but they like never crash though. That happens so rarely.
I love both Olympics, but I just don't care about bicycles. That's one sport I don't care about. I don't care about trying to think of another one that I don't really care about. But the boxing isn't a summer sport anymore in the Olympics, is it? It's been out for quite some time. But I don't really care about the basketball. Don't care about that. Don't care about bicycles. But I do love the swimming. I love the beach volleyball. And, just volleyball in general is fun to watch. It's a fucking competitive sport, and it's fun to play. It's one of my favorite sports to play. And they go crazy. Water polo is another fun one. It's hard for me to say that I actually like the Winter Olympics a little bit more than the summer, but I feel like I can get more invested into the Winter Olympics because there's less sports.
There are less sports.
So you're able to actually keep track of it pretty well.
There's less weird shit like dressage. What? Horse dancing.
And then they got field hockey too. I don't really care about field hockey, but I do care about regular hockey, which is in the Winter Olympics.
That's true.
So yeah, they're going for the Olympic gold. I think it's going to be awesome to see their progress and to see how they do or what they do. And even if they don't make it, at least they can say that they tried and that they're qualifying for it and they had something to do outside of the NFL that's not like owning a restaurant and going bankrupt. So
car wash,
Lake City car wash or dry cleaners. So the AAF. I seem to be the only one in the podcast who seems to be following it at the moment.
You seem to be the only one.
I promise you,
in the neighborhood.
I'm probably the only one in the neighborhood who watches it. But I mean, I just enjoy football so much. I love football. Like it's obviously my favorite sport. Yeah. So I mean, the reason why I love it is just because when football season's over, everybody feels that dread of, holy shit, we have to wait this long for college football. We have to wait this long for NFL. It's like, this gives you that fill for 10 weeks. It gives you the fill of football. And then now you got the XFL.
Season only 10 weeks long?
Season's 10 weeks long.
Do they have playoffs?
And then they'll have a playoff system.
How many teams in the playoffs?
I'm not too sure. I haven't invested that much.
You were a super fan, man.
I'm no super fan, but I'm a big fan of it.
Who's your team? Who's the closest team to here? Is it Salt Lake?
Salt Lake or Arizona. One or the other.
Salt Lake.
But Salt Lake, I know that Salt Lake City, the Crusaders are actually they're the affiliate of the Seahawks. So they're like a part Seahawks affiliate. How can you have an
affiliate league when you only have 8 teams?
So it's pretty much like they take players from that organization. There's a few
I understand how an
there
affiliate works. But like in the G League, there's an affiliate for every NBA team.
Right.
So there's not going to be an affiliate for every NFL team. So it feels like a competitive
it works for,
advantage
it's
to have
about,
one.
It's about 4 to 5 teams a team that's affiliate.
Oh, that's even weirder.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but it's it's just starting, so they're figuring shit out, getting it all together. And
who are the biggest stars? Is it Trent Richardson and Christian Hackenberg? Notorious draft busts.
Yeah, but Trent Richardson, man, he's making a comeback with his career. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to see that the guy's able to go back to Alabama because he plays for Birmingham Iron. So he gets to go back to Birmingham. He gets to run. He gets to do whatever he wants. And seeing him play in week 1, he seemed to actually be a lot smarter with his choices. I just don't know what it was about Canada or the NFL that was making him struggle on seeing wide open gaps. I really seeing the gaps that he would have. It's hard to miss it even if you're not a running back. You could see it right off the bat. He had a good O-line in Cleveland. He had a good O-line in
Indianapolis.
No, in Indianapolis, he didn't have the best O-line. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. But in Oakland, he also had a good O-line.
He played for Oakland?
He played for Oakland in, I think, the preseason.
Oh.
And then they let him go. And then he went to Canada. And so now he's back. He's in the States. He's playing for this league. And he's actually able to have fun playing football. I think that's what it is for a lot of these guys, is it kind of takes off the pressure of being an NFL bust and not being able to perform well after that you're classified the NFL bust, which unfortunately he was a big bust. And I feel like this league gives him the chance to kind of get his confidence back, get his groove back, able to,
like Stella.
That's right. And he's able to
movies.
able to focus more on football and less stress. He doesn't seem like he's stressed out. It seems like he's having a good time. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that his comeback is coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Money Man coming around this league. We're going to be seeing a lot of quarterbacks bouncing around this league just because they seem to get all of the bums. I think Mettenberger is a quarterback in the AAF. But one thing about the Alliance League is the plays are fun. Like, they do have big gain plays. They have big defensive plays, lots of turnovers, lots of touchdowns. And it seems like it's a competitive sport.
It's not like 70-63 like the Arena Football League used to be, though.
No, fuck no. But it's football. It's like legit football. These guys are out there playing their hearts out, and it shows because they play hard, and they it just feels authentic. It doesn't feel like I'm getting gypped. Plus, you can watch the games for free on the Alliance website. You can watch it on TV if they're not battling it out with college basketball, which most of the time right now they are. So it's a little bit tough.
Almost March.
It's almost March. So everybody knows what that means. It's going to be March Madness. We're going to talk about that.
Hey, I have a college basketball tangent while we're on this topic. So you're familiar with Zion Williamson of Duke?
Of course. Duke's the team that I follow. I was named after Christian Laettner.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Dead serious. Dad's
makes
diehard.
a lot of sense. He was a shithead, Notoriously.
I guess that's why people compare me to him, huh?
Anyways, Duke and UNC were playing the other day.
Yeah.
Resale tickets were around $3,000 a piece. Zion
Competing with the
Williamson,
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Sprains his knee because his brand new Nike shoes fell apart.
Oh, they exploded.
5 minutes into the game.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was 30 seconds into the game.
Oh, was it?
His fucking shoe exploded and he hurt his knee.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Nike stock dropped by $1 billion.
Then Puma hit him with the tweet.
Did they?
Saying that wouldn't have happened in Pumas. But then again, I don't think Puma can compete with Nike.
I don't know if any NBA players are wearing Pumas.
This is gonna be time for Adidas, man. Adidas is gonna be making its big comeback.
So you never play NBA 2K?
I don't play 2K. I never
one of
really...
the things you can do is if you get a custom shoe deal, you can make your own shoes.
That's pretty cool.
As hideous as possible. They're periwinkle and burnt orange.
I think that 2K is made better than a game like Madden. I think that's why people want to have the 2K series buy football out, buy the NFL out so that they can make football games again, because they did have that one. I think it was 2005. It was NFL 2K 2000 or 2K5 or whatever.
That was $20.
Was that?
The last one they made was only $20. I think it was 2K5.
I mean, I had it for the original Xbox. There's a Philadelphia player on the cover of it. I can't remember who it was, but that game was a lot of fun. They gave you the first-person mode.
They did, and they had the ESPN tie-in, so they had the ESPN graphics.
They had that. They had your house.
Yeah.
So they had the player crib. And in your crib was all of your trophies.
Well, that's something that's all in the 2K.
Yeah, so it's
NBA
that stuff you don't get in Madden, and I feel like Madden has a lot of empty space that they could use for that.
Yeah, it has that contract to 2025 though, so it's gonna be a while. I know. I don't understand the need for an exclusive contract. Give us some competition. Probably because EA can't compete. Look at NBA Live; it's garbage. It really is.
So, going back to the AAF, so today. As you saw when you walked in, Salt Lake City just beat Arizona. So Arizona was handed their first loss from a winless team, Salt Lake City Crusaders, and they won 23-15. I love the 2-point conversions. I love that the fact that there's no extra point kick. It's all 2-point conversions when you score a touchdown. Yeah, I love it. And then there's no onside kick. Onside kick is 4th and 12. Or 4th and 12. Sorry, not 12. 4th and 12.
What?
That's your onside kick. But you have to be down by 17. 17 or more to use it earlier in the game, or you can use it at a certain time, I think around in the fourth quarter.
That's so fucking random.
So playing right now as we're recording is...
Oh, it's because they don't have kickoffs in that league.
Yeah,
okay,
no kickoffs.
Okay, yeah.
And so playing right now as we record is Memphis and Orlando. Another situation where it's 0-2 and 2-0. So I wonder if, Memphis is going to bring the loss to Orlando, but then again, Orlando is pretty good and Memphis kind of sucks. Mike Singletary is the head coach of Memphis Express, and he just doesn't seem to be too good of a head coach.
Remember them? There was.
But remember, he was coaching for the 49ers as well.
And he showed the team his dick. And there was a whole kerfuffle. You don't remember this?
I do remember this. He also threw a helmet at a player.
Oh, did he?
Hopefully it wasn't his helmet. So, that was a dick joke, by the way.
Oh, Jesus
Christ.
It's awful.
And then tomorrow's going to be Birmingham Iron, who we were just talking about, leading the charge, Mr. Trent Richardson, versus Atlanta Legends, and then my personal favorite, San Antonio Commanders against San Diego Fleet. I will be catching that game in the afternoon. I believe it's at 5 o'clock on NFL Network. So now we're going to bounce up to the big, the big boys, the big league.
Bow, bow.
You haven't heard any Russell Wilson
not until
trade
about an hour
until
ago.
I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Which is what I think is weird because you're a Giants fan. So
I've been really busy this week.
The big rumor is Russell Wilson is going to be traded to the New York Giants, which in my opinion just doesn't seem to make any fucking sense at all. I don't know where the rumors came from because somebody said fucking what's her face? Sierra prefers New York over Seattle, and it's like, oh, come on. I'm sure she also prefers 180. I'm sure she also prefers $180 million from the Seahawks rather than what the Giants are going to give to Russell for him to get murdered out there.
Our line was fine.
Oh well, he's getting murdered here too. Sometimes
exactly.
Too, but so the reason why I don't think it's going to happen is, the Seahawks lost a lot of their star players to make way for this new Seahawks team. Mm-hmm. There's Cam Chancellor's going to be gone, which he's still on the active roster because it's part of his contract, but that's going to be up soon. And then Earl Thomas isn't coming back. I have no doubts he's coming, no doubts that he's leaving Seattle. It's sad. I love Earl Thomas. Good luck to wherever you go, but, don't trash the city that made you. That's all I got to say. He was great in Texas, but the NFL, Seahawks made Earl Thomas who he is today. One of the best, free safeties in the league. So, the defense has its people now. Richard Sherman's gone, but they have Griffin and Trey Flowers working the corners. And I think that those guys did a pretty good job this year as being stepping up and coming in, especially because Trey Flowers was a defensive back in college. I think he was a safety in college, and they moved him to cornerback to replace Sherman, and I think he did a great job. As a rookie, he was able to compete well, and he worked a lot with pretty good star receivers. There's a few receivers that did have their way on him, and it's obvious that it was going to happen. But you have that. You have McDougal, who runs the backfield. McDougal is your leader in the backfield. He's the new Cam Chancellor, he's the new Cam Chancellor, and then you have Thompson, who's back there to replace Earl Thomas. Only problem that I have with Thompson... Thomas to Thompson. The only problem I have with Thompson is that he's super injury prone. Hopefully he gets his injuries, on track, and he's healthy again by the next season, which I think if that's the case, McDougal, Thompson, Trey Flowers and Shaquille in the backfield is a very solid move. And that's a great start to you're forming a defense. But we already have McDougal locked up for another 3 years. And obviously Bobby Wagner is the leader of the middle. He controls the linebackers, he's the leader, he's a captain. He obviously is one of the best players in his position in the league. He's not going anywhere. The Seahawks aren't going to give Bobby Wagner up ever. So they're going to lock Bobby Wagner into a max contract. They're going to lock Russell Wilson up into a max contract because those two are...
Unless they trade him.
They're not going to trade him. It's not going to fucking happen. I guarantee it.
I'll give you the number 5 overall pick for him. Do you take it?
Number 5 overall pick for Russell Wilson? Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
He was the 3rd round pick. That's
I don't
an
care.
upgrade, man.
He won a Super Bowl and then took him back to the Super Bowl the next year. Mm-hmm. And, Russell Wilson...
You can have Eli. He's got 2 Super Bowls.
The part about Russell Wilson being a forever Seahawk is the offense is not really built around him yet, but it's starting to be.
It's not going to be until you guys fire Brian Schottenheimer, man.
So they're going to start developing that offense with Russell being a not so mobile quarterback. I think they want to see Russell Wilson stay in the pocket a little bit more, but he does have the ability to scramble on the outside, which works, and it also throws defenses off. And they don't want to get rid of that, but they don't want to see Russell Wilson run the ball like he was.
They don't want to run a modern offense.
They don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to have him run the ball like he did 2 years ago. They don't want to have him run the ball like he did his rookie year or his second year in the league when they won the Super Bowl. They don't want him to be running the ball as much. So they're going to start developing an offense around him.
No, they want to run the ball into the offensive line for -2 yards twice and then have Russell try and throw a 15-yard pass every time.
Fucking tell me about it. Run, pass. And then Frank Clark leads the D-line. The Seahawks aren't going to lose Frank Clark, Bobby Wagner, or Russell Wilson. They're going to sign all of those guys, and then they're going to just run the team around those 3. And I think, with Frank Clark and Jaron Reed and Rashad Green, I believe his name is, on the D-line from USC, they're going to be the defense for the Seahawks is going to be a big factor to next year. And I even think that the offense is going to be even better. Seeing Tyler Lockett's development come in and seeing that he had his career best year in the league right after signing his big contract, which is something that I love to see. But there's no fucking way the Seahawks are going to get rid of Russell Wilson.
I don't know,
no
man. Way. The Giants. Owners.
Granted, if you want to have a quarterback hand the ball off to a fifth round draft pick running back, feel free, trade Russell, get whatever you want.
I know, exactly. But Eli can run that offense. He's very great at run, pass, punt. He's been doing it for years.
And then, think about your guys' contract time come fucking... You got Odell, and then you're going to have Saquon, and then you're going to have Russell if you have him on your team. And good luck.
They're shopping Odell.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know shit from the Giants. I don't follow the Giants.
2 first-round picks. That's the asking price.
Damn. 2 first-round picks for him?
I don't think anyone's going to do it.
No fucking way.
He's the best receiver in the league.
You can hit him with a... No. DeAndre Hopkins, I say, is a better receiver than Odell.
Odell's younger. He is.
Doesn't matter.
That was the same Antonio Brown argument. Antonio Brown's 30 years old. Odell's only 26.
Look, Antonio Brown is Antonio Brown. He is one of the best wide receivers in the game, if not sometimes the best. But, he's going to a new team, so we'll see how he plays on a new team. Same with Le'Veon Bell. I am not the biggest Le'Veon Bell fan. I think he's kind of a shithead. And I think he just has a bad attitude towards organizations. You know what I'm saying? I think he just does. I don't understand it. I feel like get signed by a team, stop running your mouth, play football. Then, when you're proving yourself, talk shit about your old organization. I don't give a fuck. But while you're still with your organization, until you get signed, don't trash your organization because it just shows other teams that this is how he is, And same with Antonio Brown. they're both handling their situations the worst way possible. They look like fucking kids.
I mean,
they
maybe there's just something wrong with the Steelers.
They act like children. And I'm not saying there is nothing wrong with the Steelers. Yeah. The Steelers are falling apart. And it sucks because they had that amazing roster and they weren't able to muster up a fucking Super Bowl out of it, which is what the big deal is now. They had that big team, and I think them relying on Mike Tomlin to do the job kind of fucked them over big time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as far as the Giants go, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about the Giants. I think if they bring back Eli next year, you guys are going to have another shit season. You guys are going to be able to. That seems
to be the plan.
You guys are going to be able to pick up another good player in the first round, and hey. Go for a quarterback, maybe not this year because there's not really any quarterbacks that I can think of that are going to last.
Kyler Murray,
that are going to last until the Giants pick, because Dwayne Haskins is going to be gone quick, and then I think Murray's going to be gone fast. Even though they keep saying, "Oh, I don't think Murray's going to go,"
they always say that.
They always say that, and then he's going to get picked up by
because those people underestimate the marketing budgets and, team owners want to sell jerseys for a hot young quarterback. They don't really care if they get the best player or not. It's who is the most profitable.
Arizona, so they were talking about Arizona picking him up.
Oh, yeah.
So then their manager says that they're fully invested in Josh Rosen, which is going to lead the Cardinals to probably be the worst team in the league next year and the year after that because Josh Rosen,
man.
He sucks.
Chosen Rosen.
He sucks. He wasn't able to do anything in the Pac-12. Barely could win Pac-12 games. If he did win, it was like squeezing by. And he most likely didn't finish the entire game because he was always out with injuries. I remember he was talking shit about the Huskies defense the year after the Huskies went to the playoffs and played Alabama. He was talking shit about the defense because they lost a lot of players. He came to Seattle and he got sacked, I believe, 5 times, threw 2 interceptions, and left the game in the second quarter of the game. It never came back out.
Damn.
Because his thumb was hurt. And that's just the kind of guy he is. He talks a lot of shit and he can't ever back it up. He said he was going to make every team regret it this year that they didn't pick him, and everybody made embarrassments of Josh Rosen. I think he's a
he
joke.
Played fine.
He's a joke.
They all played fine.
I mean, I'm more of a Sam Darnold believer than I am a Josh Rosen believer, and I think that's because
I think
Darnold was thrown into a shit situation because you're thrown into the Jets. You have nobody on your receiving core. I mean, if you're looking at Jermaine Kearse, come on. Dude, that guy sucks.
What did you say? Robbie Anderson looks like a homeless guy?
Yeah, you got the homeless guy as your receiver. But I do think that he's going to develop as a better quarterback in the league just because of the way he played in college and the way that he was able to win big games. If you haven't seen the Rose Bowl between USC and Penn State with Sam Darnold, watch that shit. It's one of the best games I've ever watched. And not to mention, he also
Saquon Barkley didn't play in that game. He set it out.
He also came to Seattle, Washington, and beat the 2016 Huskies team here at home, and it had me laying down on the floor, sad. But
like that dog,
just like my dog, he doesn't even want to talk. He's looking away from the microphone. You think he's scared of it. And then my Dexter over there looks like Kris Kristopherson.
I swear
identical.
That dog, Dexter there, thinks he's a cat. He rolled over and had me scratch his tummy like he was a little kitten earlier. Now he's curled up literally like a cat on the armrest.
So, video games, man. What are you talking about video games right now? Are you still playing Apex?
Not really. I've been hella busy. I got a flat tire Tuesday morning, an hour before I was supposed to be at work. So that was a fun adventure. And then I couldn't figure out where it was, and then I finally did. And by the time I was finally found the jack and was able to pull the flat tire out of my Prius trunk has 3 different compartments I had to wade my way through. That's when the guy came to fix it. And then I get the flat tire changed, and he's like, "Oh, this flat tire is this spare tire is also really low on air." I'm like, motherfucker. He's like, "Just drive it real slow. I think there's an air pump around the corner." I'm like, okay. So I did that, and then I drove it home, caught a lift. Still haven't gotten it fixed. Fucking.
So you need a new tire. You have a spare on there, but you need a new tire.
I have the donut. Yeah, I don't still want to drive.
Yeah, you don't want to drive around with that. I see people driving with that fucking thing on the freeway.
I did, but I was the person in the right lane with my flashers on going 25
in the fucking carpool lane. These guys are driving around with a donut.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that shit'll bust your tire out real quick. I've had a tire blow out on the freeway before in my Mercedes, like 2 years ago, and it haunted me from the freeway for at least a year. I couldn't go on the freeway like comfortably, and that was just because I was always driving piece of shit cars.
I'm worried I shredded the shit out of the sidewall, but the tires are like brand fucking new, and they had road hazard warranty, so it's going to be fully replaced for free.
When are you getting it fixed?
I have to wait for Discount Tire to get the tire in stock because I bought the all weathers, and they're not keeping them. They don't keep them in the thing for anyone because apparently no one wants snow tires around here. They want the fucking cheap ass, like, you can't drive these in the rain or snow tires. Yep. So whatever.
Yep. That's right.
But anyways, and then I've been working full time and I picked up an extra shift. So all I've been playing is Kingdom Hearts. I finished Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days.
So is that number 3? That's not 3, is it?
No.
So you haven't played 3 yet?
Well, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3, which is the 10th game in the series. I'm about to start Chain of Memories, which is the card battle game that Vito played. I finished 358 over 2 days, which is the DS game, which was just a series of cutscenes. So it was basically a 3-hour movie instead of a game. That took me like 5 days because the voice acting was so bad.
Oh, by the way, one like equals one prayer for Vito. That's going to be our hashtag of the day. We'll tell you guys that story here in a little bit, but Joe, go ahead and continue.
We told that story, didn't we?
Did we?
On the Christmas special, I thought. I don't know.
Where he fell down, trying to sit down in the chair and had to be carried home.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't need to be carried home or whatever.
Anyway, one prayer equals one like for Vito. We miss him.
So I've still been playing Kingdom Hearts and a little bit of Rocket League.
The one thing I heard from Kingdom Hearts 3 is that people were disappointed at how short the game was. I don't know if you've read on that or anything like that, but that was all I saw on Facebook. And that's a lot of my...
I've seen some of that, but it's like 20-hour game, you know?
It's pretty long.
It's
20
not,
hours is a fucking long time.
Modern JRPGs are like 60 to 80 hours. That's what people were hoping for.
Right.
That's kind of crazy.
Especially for how long it took for them to make it.
I know. That's like only 2 years for every year it's been in development. I mean...
Damn.
2005 was when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out.
A game that I kind of broke out, started playing again was Dying Light from 2015. Dude, that game is, man, one of the best zombie games I've ever gotten my grubby hands on. And I love the parkour mechanics in it. Work out really well. They're not sloppy. I
played the demo.
They don't suck, and I think they did it so well. Not only that, they've been so invested in keeping their community alive in that game that not only are they working on a sequel right now that looks awesome, and I'll talk a little bit about the sequel once I get some more information on it. I promise you guys I'll deliver a little bit more information on the sequel. But as of right now, I'm still playing the first one, but there's new updates. So I had to go through a big update on it, and that was because I've missed like every single update that they've had from the last time I played it till now, and there's a ton of shit. They had, I think, 10 weeks of each week they would bring you free content, which is like free new weapons.
The Witcher 3 did something like that.
Free new weapons, free outfits, free, whole bunch of cool stuff, but it's all for free, and they would drop it in the middle of the map, and you would have to, get it. And so you have your loot boxes that are free from that, company that makes that game. I think that's a really solid way to keep your players involved. And they have a big following now, and they have kept the same following like myself. Usually I play the game and I don't really ever play it again, but I'm rebeating it now, and I erased my old game so I don't play the game again with all of my updated weapons that are strong enough to...
So you're starting
from blank, because I beat the game once.
You still gotta finish Red Dead. Get back into Red Dead.
I know, man. I don't know what it is, but I haven't been able to... There's the time... The thing with Red Dead for me is that's a game that I need to, like, sit down and play.
Yeah, I know.
For, like, 4 hours minimum.
It's deliberately slow, so if you only have like 20 minutes, you can maybe walk from Valentine to fucking San Denis. And I was like, okay, I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Great.
so it's a hard game to play if I don't have the time for it, and Dying Light's a faster paced game.
I can see that, I suppose.
So it's like, plus if I'm not doing any missions, I just go out there and kill zombies for experience points, and then wait till nighttime comes, and then kill the big volatile monsters at night and gain double the experience, because at nighttime experience doubles. So it's cool. I love the way the game works. I think the game still holds its own since 2015. I remember the first time I played it, the first time I saw Volatile, I was playing it in my old like little TV room with the light off, and all of a sudden it's like you're trapped outside, it's dark, and then the room is dark that I'm playing in, and then I have to run away from like 50 fucking volatiles who are chasing me up the street back to my safe haven. I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck is going on? I'm like trying to jump over walls. These guys, they have their fast run. Dude, the game is spooky.
Yeah.
The game's got its spooky parts. Like when you got to go into like a tunnel, that's where all the volatiles are hiding during the day. So if you go to a tunnel during the day to retrieve someone or something or do a mission, you have to fight like a whole nest of volatiles and running zombies because they're all in the dark.
What was that Will Smith movie? I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
That reminds me of that.
And then the zombies, the regular zombies, like the plebeian zombies, get stronger at nighttime, and most of them turn into runners at night. A lot of them turn into runners at night. So at nighttime you have a lot more runners, and then you have a lot more special zombies like kind of like the higher class zombies. So you have the volatiles, and then you have a different one who only eats at night, and you have to collect skin samples from him to make some kind of...
No, I remember from the demo, I'm like, I'm not even going to fuck around with this nighttime shit. If the sun is like starting to set, okay, I'm going to just go hang out at my camp till sunrise. Not messing around.
I liked climbing the roofs at nighttime because you could still do that like quietly, but you can do it without avoiding detection. And so I like to climb the roofs for that double XP. But sometimes I would fall off of the roof and I'd hit the ground, and all of a sudden I have runner zombies after me. I have volatiles after me. A disaster. And then you die, and then you respawn. It's morning time, and you're like, fuck. There goes all that XP that I was working on. But the game still, man, holds its own. There's a battle royale mode for it now where you have to get a vaccine, and then you have to kill your way to be the only person to jump on the helicopter. Even if you don't kill your way there, I think you can still make the helicopter and you can beat the race. It's pretty much a race. It's a battle royale race, which is super cool. I like the idea of getting your vaccine and getting on it. Benji, what are you doing, buddy? Stop. Go. Go. Sorry,
I'm glad we turned that microphone off because this tail has been whacking against it for a while. Dog faculties, you might call them.
But yeah, so...
Technical dog faculties, anyways.
Grandmaster pun. I think that video game is great. I still think it's great. Playing it from scratch is fun. It kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies back because you don't have strong weapons. When you have your strong weapons, the game is a piece of cake. Volatiles are killed with one hit or two hits, whatever. But God, that game is fun. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I've looked at it in the store a few times when I'm in a lull. I mean, I have like 6 more Kingdom Hearts games to play, and I got 2 more Yakuza games to play. So
I'm looking right now
at
Outlast 2, thinking about just buying that game and just kind of seeing what that's all about. But I'm waiting for it to go on sale. I think that's going to be a great sale game. And
are you a Game Pass subscriber?
I'm not a Game Pass subscriber yet.
So you know they give you all sorts of free shit. Like Crackdown 3 just came out and it's on Game Pass.
I'm not like
$15 a month.
I'm not a Game Pass guy yet.
Shit,
still waiting on it. Just because I don't have the proper time to play as much. So it's like if I'm paying for another subscription to a video game or to a system that I'm already paying a subscription to, it's just kind of like, fuck
why
it.
I canceled my PS Now subscription. Well, and because I got shittier internet and I couldn't stream it properly. But
ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what's weird about this episode? There's no Vito laughs, man. There's no giggles, no fucking Mike Spike.
Yeah.
No Mike Spike giggles.
Just the Mike's levels are pretty much.
But what we do
regular.
have is knowledge. We've got a lot of knowledge. Reading my book here.
Knowledge. Knowledge was their treasure. Shout out to the aliens from Indiana Jones 4. Spoilers. Knowledge was their treasure. The movie sucked.
Speaking of movies, this is gonna be a transition into music as well. So we're gonna be talking about a movie.
Damn it! I thought you were making a massive transition, and you said, "Speaking of movies, let's talk about music." And I was gonna make fun of the fact that my sister is convinced that we stage those because we don't. Jessica, we really
don't
any of
script
this.
Anything.
Right?
We just kind of go with the flow. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to talk about a movie that brings up my music topic that I want to talk about. So there's a new movie coming out called Lords of Chaos, and that's about the black metal band Mayhem and all of the shit they went through back in the 90s. And if you don't know, or you know what, you do know, because I talked about it during our Halloween episode where I talked
the guys
about
like burning down churches and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the album cover is of their singer with his brains blown out.
Oh yeah.
And so they're making a movie on that.
About them too.
So the problem that I see with this movie is they say it's based off of the truth and the lies, which this whole movie seems like a big fucking lie. Like, they say that these guys burnt down churches because they were doing it for Satan. These guys were actually burning down churches because they hated Christianity, because they felt that Christianity was pulling the Norwegians away from who they were, and they felt like they were being forced to be fed Christianity, so then they started burning churches.
I thought they burned churches just to prove how metal they were.
That's what this movie's trying to do. It's like, I think, and then fucking Rory Culkin is Euronymous, and Rory Culkin's not even Norwegian. He's got no accent. Then they got some other scrub in there to play Burzum, and he doesn't have an accent. The band itself gave them zero rights to use any of their music. So first off, there's going to be no original music in there, which right off the bat takes me away from the movie. And then Rory Culkin is another one that takes me away from it. See, if they did it, I think one of my friends said it really well. If they did it as like a spoof, it looks like a spoof. So if they did it like a spoof, it would be better. Or kind of like that movie Deathgasm. Kind of like that kind of style, where they took a genre like death metal and black metal, and they made it into a comedy horror movie with zombies and shit. These guys like play some kind of music they find in some abandoned house, and it sends out a curse into their town and turns everybody into zombies, and they have to like get their pages back and replay the music. It's crazy. But the movie's full of like over-the-top amounts of gore and zombies and black metal music, and the soundtrack to it is awesome. But
the only, I'm just thinking of the guitar guy from Mad Max Fury Road this whole time.
That's badass.
Fight with music.
That is badass. That truck and I see. I want to watch that movie again.
You know that was a practical effect, right? They really built that thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that.
Crazy.
And I'm gonna be watching that movie here again in the next few days. I got to see it again. But the movie would be better if it was like not based on Mayhem. If it was just like its own standalone spoof kind of movie, or their own bullshit.
Oh.
Jesus.
That's our dogs. Don't worry, your dog's not barking. Maybe it is. Maybe you listen to us at such a loud volume that your dogs interacted with our dogs, and now you're probably real mad about it.
Now they finally joined the show. See, that's just gonna keep bringing in the fact. Buy your dog a T-shirt. So,
yeah, that's true.
Buy your dog a T-shirt so that we can get some studio space, so we don't have to keep recording with these dogs. The movie looks like a joke. It's under low budget piece of shit music biography movie that just looks
Biopic.
terrible. And They actually, because this shit's a real story, and the shit that happened is really grim. It's not something that's like, it's something that's better in a documentary than it is in a flat out like reenacted movie. If you hear the documentary, which there is a documentary on it that I just watched, and it's really good. But these guys, like Burzum, is highly uncomfortable with them even using this story because he says that he used self-defense to kill Euronymous, and he stabbed Euronymous in the head and killed him instantly because Euronymous was trying to kill him in his house, and he had plotted to kill Burzum prior to this. And so, but anyway, that movie looks like a joke, but black metal is still like very strong with me. Like that kind of music is something that is just like seeing that shitty trailer made me go back and listen to a lot of these black metal bands from the 90s. And there's still a lot of them are still around, but their music in the 90s is so gritty and so like spooky that I love the grittiness and the spookiness to some of these albums. And you got bands like Immortal, you got Standalone Burzum, you got Mayhem, all those sounds or Behemoth is another band that I've really been into, but this is what I listen to when I run from now on because it keeps me focused. And it's like, you get that metal rush in your head that's just like drums pounding away that makes you forget about how much you're running, right? So it's like, I don't know how much I'm running, but I'm listening to this blast beat and it's fucking sick. And because it sounds like everything was recorded on one tape recorder in somebody's garage, and that's like the master cut to some of these albums. It's funny because they went into the studio to record their album, and they said that they wanted the worst microphones that the studio had to offer. And the guy said he had to sing into a headset microphone. So it's like recording a song on Turtle Beaches. Yeah. But like Turtle Beaches from the 90s, which is fucking hilarious. And I love that. I love the fact that they know that they want shitty quality in their music.
It's the goal.
And a show that I saw last night, as everybody knows, a New Year's resolution of mine is going to concerts this year, going to a lot more concerts than I have in my life. So I'm already at 3, and last night was my 3rd, and it was Kris Kristopherson at the Paramount Theater, which driving downtown fucking sucks. If you're not from the Seattle area and you're a listener, or if you are from the Seattle area and you're a listener, downtown is a shit show. Just getting there alone and leaving was almost as long as the concert. So prepare your travels.
The bus.
We realized that when we got there. But my dad bought a parking pass for it. I went with my dad and he bought a parking pass for it. And the parking garage for the Paramount is 3 blocks over and 2 blocks down, and they have no fucking sign. Really? So we had to find it because there was a sign there was a little parking garage sign that just said event parking, just a little one above the prices, and you're like, well, is this it? Is this it? So we parked there anyway, and turned out it was it. The concert was great. I thought he was 88, which is
old,
but he's still old. He's fucking 82 years old. And he is still rocking the house, man. I'm telling you, he put on such a good show last night. There were times where you could tell that he was running out of breath in some of his songs, but the crowd was overall really, really into the music. He got standing ovations a lot. And one of my favorite parts was he toured with Merle Haggard's band. So Merle Haggard, if you don't know, is another one of those country singers, but he passed away, but his son plays guitar in the band. So his son is on tour with Kris Kristopherson. So they played 3 or 4 different Merle songs, and his son sounds exactly like Merle Haggard. It's incredible. His son was awesome. He got a standing ovation as well. The band was a lot of fun. And Kris Kristopherson sang every single song I wanted him to sing. And it was just one of those feelings that when the concert was over, I was speechless. I was so fucking speechless. I've been waiting to see this guy my entire life. And finally I had the chance to see him. I mean, I don't know if you've had a concert like that where you've see a band that you've been really just dying to see, and they play, and you're speechless afterwards. I mean, dude, I was absolutely speechless. My dad was like, what'd you think? I was like, what the fuck do you mean, what do I think? Like, I'm speechless right now, Pops. But it was a great time. It was great to go out and do something with my dad, something that we both have in common, which is Kris Kristopherson. And, yeah, that was a fucking hoot. A real hoot. But, and then I just bought some tickets to another show coming up in the summertime.
Damn.
Yep. I'm booking it up this year. I'm going to go see
real.
Whiskey Meyer June 28th, Friday, June 28th at 8 p.m. at Neptune Theater. I'm going to be seeing them, and they're one of my favorite
my neighborhood
country rock bands to see. And I'm going to park at your house and probably just walk to the theater because parking around there is atrocious as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, dude, concerts for me this year are like the key.
That's the goal.
It's the goal. Just
Do you
seeing
bring
them,
Haley,
learning.
or is it just you?
I'm taking her to Queen.
Yeah.
Bought tickets for us for Queen, and then tickets for us for Michael Bublé, which is something she wanted to do. You know, she had said that she wanted to see him, so I figured, well, let's do something nice. Let's get these Michael Bublé tickets. Plus, I don't think Michael Bublé is a bad artist. I don't know any of his music. I know his Christmas music, so it's going to be in April, and I'm going to just kind of hope he sings his Christmas songs. But yeah, I'd love to get Haley to go to more shows with me, but she doesn't listen to the same kind of music as me.
That's true.
So it's like I'm not going to take her to go see a rootinest, tootinest country rock band like Whiskey Meyer because those guys get heavy and hectic and crazy, and it's a fun show, but it's just not for her. So it's like I'll ask her, do you want to go see these guys? Nope. Okay. All right. Fair enough. And yeah, so I've seen Culture Wall, Kiss, and Kris Kristopherson so far this year. And, you know, Michael Bublé is in about a month. Well, maybe less than a month.
I thought you said it was April.
Oh, wait.
It's still February,
yeah.
bud.
You're right. I keep thinking it's March.
Nope.
I hate February.
Because college football or college basketball is on TV, so therefore it must be March. Is that we know you only tell time through sports, mostly bit football.
Seasons. My seasons are through sports. But yeah, a record that I just got and I just heard for the first time it's a brand new record from a band from Texas called they're called the Flatland Cavalry. And their album is called Homeland Insecurities. Great album, easy listening country music. It's country folk kind of music. They got a full band. They got the violin. They got they got it all.
They call it a fiddle when it's in a country
the fiddle,
band.
yeah, they got the fiddle. But it's overall
Got
very.
a guy playing the washboard and one on the jugs.
They got So, I mean, if anybody knows, like, the band called the Turnpike Troubadours, I'd kind of compare them to them, but a little bit more easy listening version of them. And I think the singer is a great songwriter. The lyrics in the album are fucking incredible. I think it's worth a shot if you like the country folk style of music. It's a terrific album. And when they come to town, I'll probably end up going and seeing them. So, with that being said, I mean, I want to hear... You told me that you said your sister had a
poem. I was gonna pull
us.
that in at the end. You got how many more topics you got?
I mean, we've covered them, man. Video
oh, good,
games,
because we're at like
sports,
55 minutes. It's
music.
perfect timing. Perfect timing.
We miss
All right.
Vito. We
do miss Vito and his very infectious laugh. So yes, my sister did send us a poem. The dogs are very excited. Very excited. Buy your dog a t-shirt. Get us some studio space, y'all.
That's right. Buy your dog a t-shirt. Buy me a t-shirt.
Yeah, buy us some merch. Send it to us, and we can resell it. That's the real racket, huh?
And if you do buy merch, take a picture with it, and we'll post it on the on the Facebooks.
We have made some sales
on the Instagrams.
We have made some sales,
and then the Twittergrams as well. We'll put it all out there.
I may have. This is a tangent, but Ari gave me a Facebook tour yesterday, and we may have handed out some of our business cards to several Facebook employees. So
That's good.
I'm still hoping we can get Frank to play it over the loudspeaker at MetMart. But
That's a long shot. That's a long
hope.
shot. I think we have a better chance at getting Frank on the show than we do getting it played on the overspeaker.
He's a character.
But anyway, so your sister wrote the poem. Let's hear about this poem.
This is called An Ode to Beef. So, the Beefy Boys, the boys of beef, they put out a new show almost every week. Video games, sports, music, they know about it all. The burps they get from fancy craft beer are never, ever small. There's Christian, known throughout all of Beef Nation, for his oftentimes rambling, tangential conversations. Vito's not a fan of football, it's an undisputed fact. But we're all fans of his unique, infectious laugh.
Ooh.
Lastly, we have Beefy Boy Joe, responsible for limiting the time of the show. The boys of beef, the Beefy Boys. If you're a fan, make some noise.
There you go. That's fucking awesome. My mom loved it.
Yeah.
She thought my line was funny in there, which I think your sister's going to have a real hoot with this episode because it's just you and me. And I had my notes ready to go.
You were prepped. I really
was
had
supplied.
Nothing going on. I've been working so hard this week.
I don't know what it is, man. I'm on this fucking keto diet. My brain feels better.
Well, your brain fog's gone.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
I feel, and of course, I'm not drinking right now, so unfortunately, we don't have a local beer of the week this week, but we will be getting back into it, even though I won't be partaking in it. Joe and Vito can still drink beer. I cannot. But fun little keto fact for all you folks. Started the diet Monday at 3:08 and weighed in yesterday, Friday, at 301. So trying to be 280 pounds by the time I go to Cabo in April, and so far we're on the right track.
Snaps. Now, if my several seasons viewings of The Biggest Loser on NBC has taught me anything, is the first week you'll lose about 10 pounds. The second week you'll lose almost nothing.
And that's because you're losing all your water weight.
The water weight, exactly. Yeah. So don't get discouraged when a week from now you weigh 302 pounds, basically.
Well, I'm 301.
I know. I know.
I'm not going to gain weight. That's my goal, is to not gain weight.
Well, if you're 301...
0.5.
Yeah, exactly. 300.5.
I can't remember what it was exactly, but we're working there, man. And I just got some brand new football gloves in today, and oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'll show you them because they're worth the show because they're black and red.
They sound cool.
Black and red, which are my favorite colors, and I get to customize the number on the gloves. I'm pumped. Can't wait.
Those were my elementary school's wrestling team's colors, black and red.
That's awesome.
We were the state liners because we were on the state line.
I'm wearing a gray and red shirt right now, but if you're in the area, a Seattle folk, and you love playing football and you actually enjoy pickup football games, let me know, because your boy just started a new group on Facebook to organize pickup football games on Sunday, so that way it's not shitty group texts the day of.
Email threads
that are hoping everybody can respond at one time. We have the Facebook group, so somebody will make a post. Game here, this time, this place. Show up if you want to play. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Gets us all active here coming into the spring and the summertime. But I think I should heed your sister's words here. I'm going to start getting into a ramble if I don't cut myself short. So, Joe, how about you run them through our plugs?
All right. Yeah, you can find us at beefyboys.com. That's our website. We're on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Merch store is cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1. On Twitter at beefy_boys. I see a lot of AAF tweets going out recently. So
I run the Twitter.
Yeah. Instagram's Beefy Boys Bud Club for selfies. Pretty much just selfies. Facebook is facebook.com/beefyboys. And this has been episode 18 of the show.
That's right.
So here with me, I'm Joe.
And I'm Christian Oder.
All right, and we'll get Vito back One prayer equals
one prayer
like
equals one like for Vito. Or no, one like equals one prayer.
You're right.
For
One
Vito.
like
There
equals one prayer for Vito. Can we title the show that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All right, later.